Hopping out the Lex, I felt like Malcolm X. Marching with the shooters like Martin Luther. 40 cal SK or the fucking Ruger. Don't ever question if I got
like
the
button, like old guy said. Make sure you subscribe to all three movements: Hip Hop News Uncensored, Viral Hip Hop News, and of course the Uncensored Truth Podcast official channel. Yeah. We'll be playing music throughout the evening by my man Riz. You see the link in the description box right now. Go jump on his Twitter. He has a song out with Conway, more Malcolm, less Martin. It's a banger, as well as some other tracks that we'll be playing on all three platforms, man. Very excited. But, oh, God, let's get to the show, man. What we got first?
Yeah, man. Well, earlier today, man, the news came down that R. Kelly was being charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse of several underage victims. Now, Kelly, who we know is 52, is actually facing 10 counts. That's right. 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse, and that's according to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office today. Now, a judge has issued a warrant for R. Kelly's arrest, earlier this afternoon. Now, an indictment was released earlier, like I said, today, and it lists 3 victims who they're saying were 17 years old at the time, and the alleged incidents, happened between May of 1998 and January of 2010. The last we hear, R. Kelly is pretty much, turning himself in between 11 and 12 tonight. He has a bond hearing scheduled, but initially, they're saying pretty much that he doesn't have a bond, but they're giving him a hearing for it on Saturday afternoon. So, SamAnt, this is unprecedented. Not really, because we predicted this, on our podcast the other day. When the third video, allegedly Michael Avenatti gave it to the Chicago Police Department, and we said after this that it's imminent at this point. So what do you think now, man? Now R. Kelly now finally, some people saying being held accountable for some of the atrocities that he did.
Well, you got to say that. You got to say he's being held accountable now. Whether you thought it was a witch hunt back in, I believe, 2002 or 2008. I'm sorry, when he got acquitted initially for the child molestation and the whole tape, and initially all that whole situation, we were all outraged. Or the people who thought that was him were outraged, and then the whole nonsense with the Lifetime series and the whole spectacle that came out of that, but more conversation being brought to the forefront about R. Kelly, and now culminating to this 2 to 3 sex tapes coming out now with 14-year-old children, or
they said 17.
17.
Yeah, I think 17 and 14.
Okay,
so it's a couple. They're underage,
and to say the least. And I mean, a lot of people say that he's finally going to go ahead and not meet the maker. I'm sorry, but just go ahead and face judgment for everything that he did. So it's crazy right now, because we both thought that this would happen. We both knew that it would happen, but we all know that he's not getting away again. Like, it almost reminds me of OJ. It doesn't matter if it was, because there's going to be a lot of people out here now that are going to say this may be a witch hunt, this is a setup and things like that. But whether you believe that or not, I don't think he's getting out of this one.
He may not. I mean, initially, again, it's a no bond, warrant, which means they don't even want him hitting the street, obviously from risk of being a flight, leaving, running away. I said that immediately the other day when I saw the third video came out. I said, look, this dude may run, but looks like he's going to turn himself in tonight. It's if indeed he did this. And my thing is, like, it was inevitable, because if everybody's saying they've seen the tape, in the 90s and something like that, a guy like that just don't change. If this is what he is, and this appears what he is at this point, a sexual predator. I mean, the Pied Piper, the Aaliyah situation, the different accusations over the years, he's not going to change. You know what I mean? Somebody like this, if this is indeed 100% true, does need to be behind bars, in my opinion.
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Oh God, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask the people in the chat room a question. Hit 1 and hit 2 to your answer. Do we cancel R. Kelly's music? And what I mean by that is, I don't want to throw up a bunch of shit on Instagram and all that. Do we now genuinely have to really question, do we listen to this man's music or not? Because he did a lot of vicious things, or it's going to come out now. And the more that comes out, the more we'll find out that maybe he did some very disgusting things to some underage young girls.
Right.
And that can't be dismissed. So what do we do with his music? Number one, do we keep it? Number one, do we drop it?
I mean, I'm not going to be the guy that answers that. I think what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen, you know what I'm saying, is that somebody said they still listen to Big Draw. They're going to still listen to the music. But
respect that.
I see them putting on 1s and 2s in there. But yeah, man, I think it was going to be a trickle down effect. I think now you're going to see, now that the the case has been put on him. You're going to see people start to pull his music. And yeah, I think you probably can cancel it. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest R. Kelly fan, and I'm really checking for him like that. He's still going to have, I think, some of his fans, after this. He'll lose a lot, but some people are just going to follow people. It's called a cult following. They're going to follow people no matter what. We've seen plenty of examples of people being convicted of things like this, admitting to it, and people still swearing that they're innocent, saying it's some type of a witch hunt. But sick. This is very sick, man. It's crazy. And the crazy part is everybody knew. People knew this for years, but it took all this time, in these tapes now for him to be caught. And it's crazy because it's like, damn, this dude is just sick enough to keep recording this shit. Like, this dude got the nerve, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we're all gonna, a lot of people are going to villainize R. Kelly right now. A lot of people are going to say he's 100% at fault, and he may have to sit there and just take his just due and take his responsibility on that. And 100% got to agree with that. But we can't ignore the fact that R. Kelly is also a victim. He's 100% a victim. He got something wrong with him, and that might have been thrown on him and manufactured on him real early on. And instead of people aiding and embedding his disgusting behavior, he should have got help early on. Somebody in his camp should have knocked him the hell out the first time they saw him doing something wrong with a female, a young woman at that. Now, I mean, it's a young woman at that. You don't violate girls. You don't violate children, point blank, period. And if somebody in his circle saw him violating a child, they should have knocked his ass out. And then we got to get some call. We got to get some counseling. We got to get something to treat this problem, because you got a problem. But no, they shut it off. They were making their money. They kept it quiet. Then they came out 20 years later in the Lifetime series and just got this moral compass. I can't stand that. That was the disgusting part about it.
That's an interesting point, because a lot of people don't want to talk about those aspects that you bring up. One is him being a victim himself, but two, not to excuse anything that he did, but two, the people who aided and abetted this over the years and took payoffs and, just didn't say anything, not knowing that they're leaving, blood on their hands from different victims that this person continues to go after. Obviously, he has some sick obsession with young girls. We know about the stuff that he did, and we don't got to get into that on the air here. Right. But it's just like everybody knew, and that's one of the problems, man. Once again, in our community, is that we let a lot of things just get swept under the rug without pulling this guy out, getting him arrested, and or getting him help. You know what I mean? At the same time, but just to let it go, it's sad, man.
Oh God, I don't know how much you know into it, but to the best of your knowledge, where does statute of limitations play into this whole situation? Do you think it would play a role? Do you think R. Kelly's legal team are going to use that maybe as a defense in this situation? He's set to turn himself in. He's going to get arraigned. So I don't see him pleading guilty unless there's outstanding evidence and he does a plea deal. And I mean, we'll see what happens.
Last I heard, at least one or maybe two of the victims did produce physical evidence, of this. So I don't know, man. I don't really see him escaping this one. Again, we have to wait to see, as more comes out. I'm actually going to play a clip real quick. Actually, I'll play a clip now. It'll be a good time from the press conference at 4 o'clock today. I'm sure the people didn't hear this. Okay. They give us a little bit more context on what's going on with the R. Kelly situation. So just sit back. Everybody hit the like button for me and make sure that y'all share this video while we play this clip, man.
It's no question as to whether R. Kelly is guilty of multiple sexual illegal acts against a 14-year-old girl. The tape was shot in the late 90s, approximately 1999. It depicts two separate scenes shot on two separate days within Mr. Kelly's residence at the time. The audio on the tape is clearly, you can clearly listen to it. It is clear. The video is far superior than the video that was used in connection with the 2008 trial. It is an entirely different video. Repeatedly on the video, both the victim and Mr. Kelly refer to the victim's age as being 14. That occurs in excess of 10 separate times on the video. Both the victim and Mr. Kelly can be heard referencing her age. It is also clear from other things that are depicted on the video that this was in no way role-playing during some sexual act. It is clear that this young lady was 14 years of age during the time the video was shot. Mr. Kelly, throughout the video, stops what he's doing, stops his acts of sexual assault, and he proceeds to move the video camera and adjust the camera angle, zooming in, changing the direction of the shot, and things of that nature. So there's no question that he knew exactly what he was doing. At one time, or at one point in time on the video, in the first scene, it is clear that Mr. Kelly is having the victim watch another piece of pornography, which appears to be him with yet another young girl on a big screen television in the background. Repeatedly on the video, the young lady refers to Mr. Kelly as daddy.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. It's a little bit more, of this press conference. I just want to get into a little bit of the raw, details so we can see exactly, what type of evidence they're trying to bring out. Now, the statute of limitations here, I got to be honest, man, I don't know if that's going to play a role in this situation. It doesn't look good, man, and it's disgusting, man. 14, but again, man, people seen this back in the day. Man, I don't know, man. What do you think about that audio, man? There coming from the police department down in Cook County.
It's man, that's all I need to hear. I mean, like you said, we knew a long time ago. People knew a long time ago, and I mean, now it's just going to get more and more disgusting, and it's going to get a lot of negative attention. And what's going to get negative attention is a 14-year-old girl being molested, and that's sickening. Okay, we all know that this is happening. If this is R. Kelly on the tape, okay, it's R. Kelly on the tape. Do what we do to him. But the fact that we're going to now continuously see over and over again a 14-year-old child being savagely just taken advantage of is very sickening on the minds. And it just goes to show you that 2019 is starting real bad when it comes to media headlines and just scandals and things that are going on and how they spin it. Because I mean, I'm not saying that we don't need to have attention drawn toward this, but we need to have more attention drawn toward the victims and how we can help them, as opposed to watching this disgusting act. Now people are going to get to see this, and there's going to be a lot of real people who don't watch, but there're going to be some sick people, a lot of sick people who do, and it shouldn't be on display like that. Why
so long? You know what I mean? Talking about 99. Where were these tapes at before? Who was holding them? How automatically it is, mysteriously just pop back up right now. It was a question that I have. People may say that's irrelevant, but that's a long time, and I don't know what type of evidence. It's a videotape, obviously, but again, they had videotape evidence before. But again, like you said, I could concede to the point, SamAnt, that I don't think that he gets out of this one. He might be done.
I think he is done.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I think he's done.
Yeah, and that's sad. So if anybody just coming in, we're just doing a recap, of R. Kelly. He was charged with 10 counts of sexual aggravated assault. Today he's due to turn himself in tonight. There in Chicago. So yeah, man. But one
more time, my bad. I got to cut you off. I want to know if y'all going to cancel his music or we going to hold on to his music. I'm kind of want to see the split in that, because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, it's easy nowadays not to listen to whatever you don't want to listen to. It's easy because there's so much music out there. You got your titles, the Apple Music, all these streaming services where you can got your selection of your box of music. Even if you are a real avid fan of somebody, you could kind of shut them out. But if you're in a club and you hear his music, are you going to walk off the dance floor? If you're at a wedding and the DJ is an asshole and he turns on one of his songs, you're going to get off the stage. Like, how far are everybody going to take this? Or are we going to kind of turn a blind ear, so to speak, to where on certain situations, and what does that say? So
I think some of the major platforms are going to pull back. Like we've seen the thing with Spotify.
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to see that happen. I mean, his legacy is pretty much going to be done at this point. If he does, manage to somehow get out of this one, which I doubt very seriously, he may be okay. But other than that, this is it. Okay. Like Michael Jackson said, this is it. Definitely, man. But yeah, man, you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother Old God and SamAnt. Going in today on this Friday night, everybody come in. I see y'all coming in. Go ahead and hit the like button for me, and make sure you go ahead and share this video, and continue to go ahead and drop your area code.